this a new day. Make a move, doing things a new way. A new way. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming. Look ahead, we can see forever. You and me doing it together. Light it up, we can be a million stars. Look at us, don't you see we've come so far? Yeah, we've come so far. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time. And these are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming. Standing at the crossroads, feeling how the wind blows, we can soar above the clouds. Every moment is a heartbeat, and every breath feeling so sweet. And who can say what happens now? 'Cause this is our world, this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming. This is our world, and this is our time. And these are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't. to be on a new adventure for two. We can fly across the ocean or take a train together. I don't care as long as it's beside you. Take a road trip in a car, we'll get lost and go too far. While on the beaches we will watch the sunrise. And if we've done there's all to do, I'll just sit and stare into your loving face, graced with those beautiful eyes. I have fallen madly in love. You're the only one I think the world of, and I will stay true. 'Cause you got it, you got it, you got my heart. I know together we'll be forever, never will part. You got it, you got it, you got my heart. The first time I saw you, right then you had me, right from the start. When we started, some would laugh 'cause they thought we wouldn't last. But take a look now, none of them are around. And you're just the kind of girl that can wrap me in your world. I'm walking on the air, my feet off the ground. Yeah, no one can catch my eye, and so please don't even try, because you cannot be the one that I found. And now we're going on vacation, a special destination, music, dancing, laughing, fun all around. I have fallen madly in love. You're the only one I think the world of, and I will stay true. 'Cause you got it, you got it, you got my heart. I know together we'll be forever, never will part. You got it, you
And we are live. Hi, everyone, and a warm welcome to Vinnova's and the Research Council's first event for Clusters of Excellence, a joint initiative and government assignment that we received this summer. With this program, we look to promote world-leading, groundbreaking research and innovation in Sweden to make us competitive and a nation of true excellence. My name is Louise. I work at Vinnova, and I will be your guide throughout this event. Together, we will have 1.5 hours of presentations, analysis, and inspiration. With me in this room are all of the projects that have been granted funds in either one of the first 2 calls that concluded during the fall. And online, we have about 500 people watching, so we are very excited and happy that all of you are interested in our work. Here you can see the agenda for the day. So presentations, analysis, and an inspirational speaker. Yeah, there we go. Both the live and online audience will be able to contribute to our work with the Clusters of Excellence via this Menti. So the question is rather simple. What are your thoughts on Clusters of Excellence? Send any reflections or input that you may have now or at any time during the day. It will be open all day, and you can send as many answers as you would like. So visit menti.com and enter the code 73931738. This is a chance for you to influence how we form this effort moving forward, so take this opportunity. I will remind you of it several times during the day, so no need to go ahead and go to Menti now. But without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker to the stage. She is the General Director of Vinnova and very much involved in our work with Clusters of Excellence. So welcome to the stage, Darja Isaksson.
Thank you. Great to be here. Let's check the sound. It's working, right? Okay, fantastic. Welcome, everyone, both here in the room and online. So let me start this way. What's the distance between a big idea and a realized breakthrough? Often it's not brilliance, it's not even luck. It's the rare combination of courage, focus, and a system that allows people to go all in. That's true for science, it's true for entrepreneurship, and it's painfully true for Europe. For decades, we've had an innovation gap, a real gap between our actual ability to create new knowledge, train some of the world's best talent, and our lack of ability to turn that into new capabilities, new industries, new power in the pace that the world now demands. Excellence clusters are our way of closing that gap. They're big bets on the idea that technology leadership happens where we can create a gravitational pull for it. So when we look at other places in the world that have done this well, not only the US, but Canada, Singapore, Netherlands, and others, patterns emerge. That this thing happens where you combine world-class researchers leading with scientific vision and choosing to act together rather than competing with industry and public partners that bring real-world problems and demands with an environment that encourages the best brains to take real risk on ambitious research agendas as well as on entrepreneurial journeys. These examples inspire us a lot. They did not succeed by being careful. They succeeded by being clear about what matters, about how to really make a difference, about where they will lead, and about the fact that this success requires concentration, not polite distribution of resources. A real opportunity is in front of us as funders today to support these world-class researchers, the ones who attract talent to help them grow, and also support the entire village that it does take to bring those ideas into the real world through translation, venture creation, and partnerships that scale. So now, if we want to lead from Sweden, and in fact, we do want to lead, we even need to lead, we have to create technology leadership in strategic areas, then we need to stop asking ourselves what's safe and start asking what is necessary to actually make a difference. What bold agenda could change the game if we backed it with the full force of an aligned ecosystem, because we have that chance now. So I'm hoping that if you are the people with that kind of clarity, now is your opportunity in the Swedish system to choose this moment, to choose ambition over caution, clarity over comfort, design over drift, and it's our opportunity to support you in doing so. So I'm really, really happy that you're all here and that we get a chance to listen to you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Darja. Hope to see you here during the rest of the day. But now let us dive deeper into the topic of today. Since the start, our work with the Cluster of Excellence has risen both a great amount of interest and curiosity and questions. What is a Cluster of Excellence? What is happening right now? How are Vinnova's and the research councils, are they aligned? Are they different? Well, I am not the one to answer those questions, but our next two speakers are. So welcome to the stage, Cecilia Sjöberg, Head of Department at Vinnova, and Marika Edoff, Secretary General for Engineering Sciences at the Swedish Research Council.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Super nice.
Finally, we meet you all, so it's really nice. Clusters of Excellence, the aim and vision. We will talk about that today. So, Vinnova got the assignment in May this year of excellence clusters to fund groundbreaking and strategic technologies, invest in excellence clusters in Sweden. We also got within the assignment, we got a special assignment to develop a new instrument for pre-commercial procurement. That we will not talk about that today, but also to have a joint program office together with you.
And we got a similar assignment at the Swedish Research Council. So again, excellence clusters for groundbreaking technologies. We are looking for international positioned leadership, so we should be internationally recognized research. We didn't get any assigned technology areas, but it's completely open to everyone. So we have had the pleasure of inviting everyone to apply for the network calls. It's researcher-driven, it's bottom-up, and it also includes a strong perspective from social science and humanities on the future technologies. So we should be aware already at the start what this could be leading to, and this awareness is there. Also on national security, which is also in our assignment. It's a large investment in research. It's for us as researchers, we think this is huge. From an industrial perspective, it's maybe less huge, but for an industry or for research, it's big, and thereby it's overcritical, and we can attract talent. So that's one thing as well. It also may include investments in critical infrastructure that's needed to perform world-leading research. There's support for AI in the Swedish Research Council and also research schools for AI. I think there's coordination needed here. And again, a joint program office together with Vinnova.
Yes. So this is one of Sweden's most important research and innovation initiatives. It will be environments where top research meets innovation and creates real impact for the society. And this matters because technologies like AI, quantum, advanced energy technologies will really shape and change industry and our future. And as Darja said, we are not alone in this ambition. We see similar initiatives around the world, like countries like Netherlands, Denmark, Singapore, and Canada, and so forth. So for us to stay competitive and resilient, we need strong research and innovation ecosystem that turn research into breakthroughs with speed. So the government is making a major investment in this. This is the annual budget in 2028.
When it's fully upscaled.
Yes. And so why now? We live, as we know, in a time of rapid change, and large investments in fundamental technologies are done. And we believe that countries that succeed will be those that can integrate knowledge and innovation at scale. So excellent clusters are Sweden's strategic response to this, to really strengthen our competitiveness and build resilience and create value for society. It is also an invitation to connect internationally, to share expertise and to really co-create solutions. So, what is an excellence cluster? It's more than research projects. It's a really long-term investments in ecosystems that really combine this scientific excellence with innovation capabilities, and also other resources such as research infrastructure or also tech infrastructures. It's a combination of three pillars: research excellence that will be funded by the Swedish Research Council, innovation and impact that will be funded and driven by Vinnova, and also, most importantly, it's a collaboration between academia, industry, and society. And together, these clusters, we hope that they could attract top talents and investments, foster and cutting-edge research, and also accelerate solutions to our societal challenges. I believe that clusters in Sweden can address some of the needs in the Swedish research and innovation system, to really closer collaboration between basic research and innovation, align our efforts, and also to really present long-term conditions and funding. Also to emphasize our strength and advantages here in Sweden, collaboration across sectors, high-quality research. We have a dynamic startup ecosystem here in Sweden. We have an innovative industry and also robust both private and public research and development investments. So we know that clusters or excellent clusters comes in different shapes and forms. And we have interviewed some of the best. And when we have talked to some of the best around the world, we see some commonalities. In order to be successful, you have to have a bold vision and you have to have leadership. You have to have major investment, not only from the government, but also from industries and other sources. You have to have an international perspective from start. You have to have the flexibility to change over time, because what you know today won't be the same results in 10 years ahead. And you also need to have KPIs really to measure the development of the cluster, and also collaboration and focus.
So, looking at a timeline then. So excellent research, as we said, I think we emphasized this many times today, excellent research is the foundation, it's the basis for everything. It should also be internationally recognized, because that's the way we attract talent. We should have access to infrastructure, so there is funding for support of major infrastructure, national infrastructures, but also our own small and medium-sized infrastructures and tech infrastructures. So there is funding for this in this cluster call. Innovation excellence, that depends on maturity, how far are you in innovation excellence, but it has to come, because otherwise there cannot be any continuation and there will be nothing. And finally, capital and upscale. And depending on where you are in this, I think we can cover all of the time scale. I think that's super important that we say that we should speed up. So there could be completely new things, new groundbreaking things that would make it far along this line. So that's really, really important. We can take the next slide. And what we think is key capabilities. So dedicated leadership team with a bold vision. It's okay to fail, but we need to have a bold vision. You have to want something out of this. So research excellence with potential for groundbreaking technologies. Of course, access to critical infrastructure, internationally recognized with strong networks. We should use the networks that we have. Innovation ecosystems identified and strengthened. They could be identified from the start, but they could also be identified along the way, and that's the reason why we have this joint program office as well, to support you in this. Scale up and attracting innovation capital, and innovation and entrepreneurship expertise, and we think that's in all of you. And yes, so this is a true partnership between Vinnova and the Swedish Research Council as well. And the open part financed by the Swedish Research Council, and the strategic part financed by Vinnova. And we said again, the joint program office. We are welcoming input from you. What type of support do you think you need to be excellent and to move forward? And we're here to help that. And promote synergies between the initiatives, and that's why you're here today. We like you to meet and utilize the joint opportunities for the international collaboration.
This is a report that Vinnova launched a year ago, and it was an analysis of the Swedish research and innovation